Hey guys, what's going on? I'm George. I'm going to do a review over the 3D wall panels that a lot of people are doing. Uh, but a lot of the times you see how everyone ends up putting it on the wall, and so you have the wall covered in a wall panel. And so I didn't want to do that, so I turned mine into like a canvas, a 3D wall panel canvas. And so this one here I bought from Amazon, and you can find them all over the place, but they come in a 19.7 inch. So this one here is three panels going up and then six panels going across. So a total of 118 inches from left to right, and then 60 inches going up. And so I used the standard trim that you can find at like Home Depot or Lowe's. And these trims here are just a simple door trim, but I'll show you exactly how I made it. And it's quite simple. And depending upon the size of it, will determine how big you need or how thick you need the frame in the back side of it. So I'll just give you a general idea. So let's take a look. So this one here is another project that I'm working on. And so I have two different types of panels that I got. And so this one here is that one there that you see in the back. And then this panel here is a different one. And I'll show you what I did to this particular panel. And so for example, this one here, I ended up painting it a what you call a Rust-Oleum copper color. If I remember, it was a copper color, but I will confirm and find out, and I'll load the paint coat on there because it's exactly the same color as the panel up there. So if you do decide to make one, let me show you exactly how to do it if you decide that you actually don't want to stick the panel on the wall, but you want to create a canvas such as this one here. So it's quite simple. So let me show you. So I'm not going to use this one because I don't have enough. I'm just going to use the one that you see there. So they come in a pack of 12, and then you could also buy it as a single piece. But you know, why would you buy it as a single piece if you get a pack of 12? The thing is that they are a 19-inch 0.7. So depending upon the size that you want, just buy the pack that you need and map it out and see exactly how big you want it in terms of the wall that you want to put it on. So this one here would fit a total of 3 different panels, and I'm going to show you. And so what I did was, before I ended up putting them on, I painted it first. And so all you got to do is ensure that you have a good amount of space on the ends, both top, bottom, and the sides, for your trim. And the trim is a MDF PVC that they sell by the 8-foot and a 24-foot. And so I'll show you exactly which trim that I used on the wall panel there. So what I did was I ended up just mapping it out and seeing exactly how big I wanted it based upon the wall that I was going to put that on. So I pretty much just lined it up, and I knew exactly that I would have some space, both top and the bottom, including the sides. And so uh, this one here, as you notice, I have less of space, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that, but let me show you. And so those are the 3 panels. And so what I ended up doing was I ended up buying a panel from Lowe's, and they are, I can't remember, less than a 4 inch, but they're super, super thin. And so the reason why I got a super thin one is because once you finish it, like the panel here, this thing becomes quite heavy. If I remember, once we put it up, it was roughly close to about 80 pounds. And so we built the frame first, and we built the frame and we put it onto the wall. But I made sure that I have enough space for the sides for the trim. So the top and the bottom, including the sides. And so I bought the panel just like this, but I had to buy, I think it was 3 different, the panels here that were actually quite large, that are sewed in a 4x8. And so I needed, if I remember, a total of 2 because the way that I cut it. And so once you start doing the math and you start to create your design, you know exactly how big you want it based upon the total number of panels you're going to need. Yeah. So for this one here, just imagine this is that piece up there. So because of the size, I actually had to end up getting a larger a wood instead of a thinner wood. And so if this one was that up there, basically I would take this and then just line it up, create your frame. And the reason why you need this is because these boards here that they sell, they're not always too straight. And so the wood here is going to help it make it flat when you end up putting on the panels. So what I ended up doing was I put the frame on the back, one here, one there, and one at the very end. And then I ended up screwing them from the back side. And the reason why from the back side is because that's where the panel is going to be. So you won't be able to see the screws. And so get the real small screws, just bolt them in, screw them in. And so just make sure you have your frame bolted up to the wall. And then you start putting on your panels piece by piece. So for example, this one here, because it's a smaller piece, I'm going to have another wood which is inside the garage, which is thinner, yeah, because I don't need the wood to be this thick as a support. So what I ended up doing was I've already painted the same exact panel that you see there, but in a blue. And so just imagine if I have the wood here, this plank here, directly on the backhand side, on the back side, all lined up, I would basically just screw it in. And so the reason why is because it gives that extra frame look, and also it makes this plank more straight when you put on the panels. So I ended up painting this one because of the size. I ended up painting the panels on top of the wood. It made it a lot easier. But for example, that piece there, I painted panels piece by piece. So they also sell the trim piece here that you see. And the one that I got, the one that I think that probably looks best, is more going to be the flat type. But as you notice, it's two different sizes from end to end. And these are actually door trim, yeah? And so this is another one you'll probably see at Lowe's and Home Depot. And I want to show you two different panels that I put inside the house. So you see this is actually a door panel, but door trim, but I ended up using it for that particular one there. So once you've already glued it on, yeah, you'll need to end up determining the size that you need. And you can paint the trim. Basically, when you do cut it, you can paint it while it's off. It makes it a lot easier. And then just glue it down, yeah, just like that. This one's going to be black. And so just make sure you cut your 45 degrees correctly. But this is what it's going to look like once you're finished. But like for a size like this, I have the big wood. Let me grab that again. I have large wood like this because of the size of it. I have both running from the very top, the bottom, and the two sides directly at the very end, including two directly in the middle here, because of the plywood doesn't always come in straight. Now, if you take a look at the plywood from the top here, if you come in from the side, you'll notice that it's not straight. Yeah. So that's what you also need to consider on that. But that's pretty much it. And then take a look at the side here. And so make sure you cut it at a good 45-degree angle. Yeah, because that's where it's going to be quite important when it comes to the trim. Now, if you look on the side, you'll see a black wood frame right there. I know you can't see that, but that's what you're going to need to do. So take a look at this. And so this one here is a 118 by 60. Yeah, all right. So what I did was, if you noticed those panels there, let me walk around over here and show you. Okay, right there. And so I did that exact same concept using the Rust-Oleum copper color, and I ended up putting it directly behind the TV. Now, if you look, because it has a reflection to it, because directly behind the TV, there's lights, yeah, directly mounted behind the TV. Now, because the Rust-Oleum copper color, the spray paint, doesn't absorb too well onto wood. So if you notice, I have the sides here because the panels stop here. This here is actually blinds, I guess what you call PVC blinds, or blinds that you would buy from, I don't know what's those old style blinds that run both up and down where you use the rope to turn it. So that's what that is. I basically just cut it out. And so I put it behind there. So this actually isn't onto the wall. It's actually onto the large plywood that I put onto the back. So that's an idea for the back if you have a TV and you have this, you know, protruded area that your TV sits in. Take a look on this side here. So this is another one, which I made too. This one doesn't look too well, but I use that door trim one on the side. But that's what that would look like once it's complete. And so, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just let me know what you think. I mean, give me some ideas that you think probably might be cool to do a review on. But, you know, that's the next project that you see there. You know, this one here is going to go inside the restroom, and it's going to go, you know, horizontal, vertical, you know, I don't know yet, but that's pretty much it. And so those are the 3D wall panels, and just be mindful that the 3D wall panels that you buy from Amazon comes in like the PVC plastic, which are these, you know, they're definitely more durable. And they have another one that's made from styrofoam that I saw. They're a little bit more expensive, but I bought that in. I wasn't too happy with it, and so I ended up returning that and got these. And so that's pretty much it. That's a idea for you. If you don't want to put the physical wall panel onto the wall, you want to make a large canvas and artwork, so you go with something like that. And choice of color is completely all up to you. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And so just an idea for you. And yeah, let me know what you think. And I'm George. Until next time, cheers.